Year after year, I've watched our solar panel production drop. After about 5 years on the roof, our panels are coated with dust, dirt, and pollen. So I paid a company $200 to come out and clean them. In this video, I'll go over everything with the experience. I'm wondering if it's worth it financially to have them come out every year. Will we produce enough kilowatt hours to offset the cost of the cleaning? And what are the differences in our production? Keep on watching. Hey everybody, Marcus here. Year after year, I've watched our solar panel production decrease compared to the previous year. And there are a lot of different factors which can affect production. One of those being weather, which we obviously can't control. Another one being growth of trees around your panel, which may cause increased shading, which we're currently dealing with. But the third being the cleanliness of your solar panels. Now, we've had our panels installed since August of 2021, almost 5 years ago, and I've never been up there to actually clean them or had somebody out to clean them for me. And I drive around town and see signs all the time for solar panel cleaning, $250, and I've always wondered, does that make sense? Will you actually produce enough extra kilowatt hours to pay for that service? So in March of this year, I had a company come out and clean our solar panels, and I wanted to take a couple months worth of data to look in to see, does it make sense? Does it financially make sense to have somebody come out year after year to clean them? Will you produce more and stop that decline of production numbers that we've been seeing? So let's get into all the details. Now, in terms of getting a company to come out and clean our panels, I didn't actually end up going with the companies that were on the signs around town. I went to Yelp and they had a nice tool where I just inputted the service I needed. They had a couple companies pre-populated that they sent messages to, and one of them responded and said they were available. Now, originally they came with a $300 quote, and I thought that was just on the edge of being affordable. I didn't think we were going to produce enough to make that financially make sense. And I talked back and forth with them and got them down to $200, which I thought was much more fair. Now, they were able to come out within about 3 or 4 days, so very quick, very convenient. This was in March, so maybe not the busy season for them, but I thought it was a relatively reasonable time frame and price to have somebody come out. Now, in terms of the cleaning setup that the guy had, unfortunately, I don't have a picture of the deionizing filter, but he basically came with the deionizer and a really long boom pole and hose. He connected the hose from our house up to his deionizing filter and then had a long hose up to that boom hole, put a ladder up, climbed up on the roof, and then attacked the panels from the top. Now, when I tried to do it myself, I was going from a ladder on the bottom. I do have an extendable pole with a brush on it, but I was fighting gravity the whole entire time, and the sweat equity that I put into the project for an hour was definitely much more costly than the $200 that he charged to go up there and do it. Now, I trust the professionals here. I think that actually doing it from the top is a much better idea. I'm not a big fan of heights, so I didn't really want to get up there and was happy to have him get up there. I think going from the top, basically, when you're scrubbing all the dirt down, and he did it very methodically to get all the dirt off the panels, and that way you're not fighting gravity as you're going up on them and then the dirt coming back down anyways. Much smarter to do it from the top. I just really didn't want to get on the roof myself. Now, the whole process took probably about 2.5 hours for him to clean all our panels. Our panels are kind of unique in that we have all of them in one spot on that back roof. We don't have them all over the house in the different directions. They're just all east facing. But it is a large group of panels. I'm not sure exactly how long it is, but I'm guessing that it's probably about 40 or 50 feet of panels in that square kind of rectangular shape. So really helpful to have that extendable boom pole so you could get everything just standing on the top and not have to move all around to scrub them. I'll throw some videos of the panel cleaning process on here now. Like I said in the beginning, he used deionized water. That's because you don't want water spots from regular tap water when it dries. So this actually keeps them clean. You don't get any spots that would decrease your production after they're cleaned. He started at the top and then methodically just went from row to row down, basically pushing the dirt down at each row, finishing that row, and then moving on to the next one. So that way, when he got to the bottom, it was all finished. Now, what blew me away was seeing it kind of mid-process and how dirty the panels had gotten, and then how different they looked after they were cleaned. Now, 5 years of accumulated dust, dirt, pollen. We live in an agricultural area. There's lots of dirt in the air when it's harvesting season. So these things definitely see their share of dirt and dust, and all that just decreases your production. But I was blown away even aesthetically at the difference. I'm used to seeing the panels in the past 5 years just kind of have like a yellowish hue. Really bad when it's pollen season, or it's summer and we're not getting rain to rinse them off at all. And after he finished, it looked like those panels were installed that day. They were just back to being, fresh. And I hadn't seen that in the 5 years since they were installed. So I was really happy with the job he did. Took about 2.5 hours for him to complete it. Not sure how much water, but it really wasn't that much. The hose he was using, just kind of, like I said, hooked up to the hose. Wasn't anything excessive coming out of the brush there. Just kind of the physical nature of brushing those panels off is what got them clean. It wasn't like a pressure washer blasting the dirt off of those panels. Last but not least, let's go over the data for the solar panel cleanings. Now, I had this done March 21st of this year. It's now June 22nd, the longest day of the year, and about 3 months of data. So I thought it was a good time to go over everything. Now, let's preface this by saying we live in the Sacramento suburbs and we use PG&E. So during the summer, our off-peak rates now are around 40 cents per kilowatt hour. Our peak rates are up around 50 cents per kilowatt hour. So electricity is prohibitively expensive around us. And I'll be using those numbers because that's what we would pay around here. Obviously, if you're living in an area where, electricity is much cheaper, you're going to have to change these calculations to see if it makes sense for you to have a cleaning done. But for us, I'm going to use the 40 cents and 50 cents number for our kilowatt hour pricing. Another caveat to the extra production that we're getting here is you have to look at it whether you are a net exporter or a net importer. What I mean by this is a net exporter is somebody with solar who produces more than they use. So you're sending back kilowatt hours to the grid in excess. For us, we get paid about a nickel per kilowatt hour we send back to the grid in excess. For somebody that's a net importer, they're getting their credits for their solar that they're sending in, but for the extra that they bring in from the grid over what they've sent, you're paying the full rate. For us, 40 cents per kilowatt hour or 50 cents per kilowatt hour if it's peak time roughly. Now, let's look at the production numbers, and I'll put it up here for our system. 2022 being the first full year that we had our system, and we generated 18,200 kilowatt hours. 2023 was 17,100 kilowatt hours. 2024, 16,400 kilowatt hours. 2025, 16,000 kilowatt hours. So you can see the steady decline here. Obviously, that's the panels degrading, which can be a factor, but it's also the dirt. We've got more shading, and we're just seeing about a 2,200 kilowatt hour drop from 5 years ago when we had our system installed to now. So let's take a look, and I'll also put that up here, of our numbers for production. I'm going to look at 2025 last year, and we'll compare that to this year so far. So we had them come out March 21st to do the cleaning, and in last year, March 22nd to June 21st, today is June 22nd, we produced 2,654 kilowatt hours. This year, after having the solar panels cleaned, we produced 2,883 kilowatt hours, so roughly 230 kilowatt hours more, about an 8 or 9% increase in production having those panels cleaned. Now, does this make sense financially is the big question, and that is if you're a net importer or exporter. We'll start with the importers. If you're an importer, 230 kilowatt hours over the course of 3 months, we're going to extrapolate that out to a full year. 230 kilowatt hours would be roughly $92. So if you take that out to the full year, that extra roughly 900 kilowatt hours or so that you produce would cost about $360. Now, paying $200 for the cleaning and then producing $360 worth of extra kilowatt hours definitely makes sense. And in that case, I'd have somebody come out every year. But for us, we're net exporters. We essentially send more to the grid than we use. Even with 2 electric vehicles, we just have our Cybertruck on free supercharging, so we primarily don't charge that here. Our Model Y does charge at home, so it's nice to have the extra kilowatt hours. But as net exporters, we only get paid about a nickel per kilowatt hour. So if you're talking about 230 kilowatt hours here, that's only about $10 extra that we would get for the extra production. And extrapolating that out, let's just multiply it by 4 and say it's 900 kilowatt hours over the course of a year. We're only talking about $45 extra. So in that case, it doesn't make sense to have them come out and clean it every year. In that case, I'd probably wait 3, 4, 5 years and have them come out at that interval to make it financially make sense. I do think there are more aspects to the solar panel cleaning decision than just purely financial. For us, we have these solar panels up on the roof, and I want them to be operating at their full potential. If we're producing more, that means that maybe during the summer we can drop our AC an extra degree or 2 down and cool the house more. If we're plugging it into the Model Y, that means we can drive a few more 1,000 miles on clean electricity rather than wherever the electricity would be sourced otherwise. Also, I'm thinking in terms of our household in general. We do use natural gas for heat, and it'd be nice to potentially get a more efficient heat pump in the future. And those things are, kilowatt hour hogs. They're going to use a lot more than the gas obviously would. And so we've got to make some space in our production numbers to accommodate that so we don't become net importers. So anything I can do to clean the panels and get them running as efficiently as possible so that we could do something like that and potentially just stop using natural gas at our house would be a net positive for us. So I think even though it doesn't make sense financially for us as net exporters of electricity, net importers, it definitely does. But also, I think in general, just being able to use your electricity generated from your house, not having to draw it from the grid, and keeping everything behind the meter as much as possible is just a net benefit here. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Is your electricity cheaper? Does a solar panel cleaning not make sense for you? Are you also scared of heights like I am and don't want to get up on the roof and it's just easier to have somebody else do it for you? Let me know. Let me know what you think. All right. See you guys in the next one.